Well, this is Cabin Conversations, a coming to an end podcast here at Woodlands Church. I'm Dave Bonison here with co-host Whitney Swenson.
Hi, Dave.
Hi, Whitney. This is our last episode of Cabin Conversations in season 5.
Season 5. We made 5 years.
We made
That's
5
wild.
seasons. So, and our guest is none other than Doug. And it was so sweet. We were talking, who do we want to guest our last episode? And you were our clear choice, Doug.
Unanimous, Doug.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Unanimous among two. I have arrived. Somebody.
With us.
A guest of 5 years. You've been with us through the whole thing, but just I think some of our just sweetest episodes have been reflecting on things with you and processing that. So we have all served together for 12 years, 12 plus years.
Yeah.
So Doug being the statesman, elder of the team. But
How long have you been here?
It'll be 18 in July.
18 years.
So long.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
that's older than I've been alive.
Sometimes I think that.
Based on how I act. Oh boy.
Yeah, it was a sobering or a strange reality when I hit 17, realizing I've been here longer than my prior ministry.
Yeah.
But that felt so long. That was such a long. And when you're younger, every year feels shorter. But it's like there's no way I've been here longer than I was with the other. But yeah. So.
And we just had staff lunch, saying goodbye to you, Whitney, and that was a sweet time of just reflection and
it was really sweet.
So
brutally sweet.
you've had such a profound impact on so many people here, and I think explicitly in a lot of ways, like there's lots of things that we can explicitly point to, YAM and series resources and small group culture and missions and all of those things. Yeah. But I think what really came out, and Doug, you can agree or disagree with this, but what really came out in what people were sharing was the implicit effects that you've had on people, friendships and just your presence and your pace and your priorities. And wow, P's are easy to alliterate.
So they are, aren't they? Yes.
It's just a sweet time. So
that was really sweet. The intangibles is what I talked to Sophie about a lot, particularly in the aspects of sport. Like you can be a really good athlete and have certain skills, but there's different intangibles that put you on a different level.
That's right.
And I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I'm just saying that's like the implicit or intangible things that you can't necessarily name, but you just like there's something different in it. So.
And the things worth paying attention to. I think it's really easy to go through life just not focused on those things. And so you will be missed around here. Yeah. But blessings too. My goodness.
Yeah, I'm really excited. It's this weird, like I get caught between two pendulums of like being really sad. Like I think I was telling you guys, I was pretty weepy this morning thinking, that's great. I'll be weepy this morning and not cry during the staff lunch. And then
not a chance.
Not a chance. So I need a nap now afterwards. But I go from that to like just being really excited and that feeling callous to the people that are grieving. You know, like I'm excited. I'm sorry that then like my leaving does do something, and there's different things for particularly in my team, Lauren, Logan, Vicky's on the team that will mean different things for them in the future, and it's exciting, but it's also just requires something.
Change.
So.
It's change.
Yeah.
I mean, Don Smith. All change is loss.
Yep.
And that. You know, good change, bad change, hard change, easy change, all change there's loss experienced in that. And if we don't acknowledge that, oh man, we're foolish in that. And so you've been mourning the loss of this place and this pace, while also rejoicing in the gain that you get from the place and pace ahead of you.
Literally got back from my run, walked through my orchard and picked like a dozen asparagus that were like coming up. I'm thankful that Brian and Sophie didn't get to him first, but I got to him first. I'm like,
wow.
Yes, keep growing. I'll come back.
That's awesome. Total side note, how long did it take for your asparagus to start producing fruit the way you wanted it?
Like 2 or 3 years. 2 or 3 years until we actually started harvesting more than just a couple sprigs here and there. I think we're 6 years in, and we get pretty good asparagus.
I should have started that years ago. I love
I think
asparagus.
it's 3. Yeah, I think 3 in general is just like
give it time to root really well.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll kill it. But Then my brother sent a picture. I sent him like, yeah, look what I got. And he sent me a picture. He found turkey eggs in the woods. Like he was foraging for, he's a forester. So he's in the woods a lot. But he cooked up turkey eggs.
Really?
I know. I was like, what?
They weren't fertilized?
How did you? Well, they were, but you can eat fertilized eggs as long as you don't let it
early. Yeah. Too much.
But I was like, how did you know that they didn't have a turkey in there? Ramps and morels was his skillet. And I was like, oh my goodness.
Wow.
That sounds amazing.
So it's just like a foraged breakfast.
Yep.
No kidding.
Incredible.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's delicious.
Sounds great.
Yeah. Is Sunday, I think it's just worth, this has been for 4 of the 5 seasons. We've been processing the sermon and different things like that. Season 2, we won't talk about that season.
That was a rough one. We tried something else. We tried reading, 20 chapters of scripture?
We tried doing Woodlands in the Word.
Yeah.
But we were like a week ahead.
Yeah.
Because we want it to be released on the week, like preing people's reading of it. And it was just awkward and weird, and it was hard to talk about.
We couldn't get in the rhythm very well.
Yeah, like multiple books of the Bible in the New Testament. Like, which one do you want to talk about? So,
and just a large span, and
it just felt like fits
tough.
And stops.
Yep.
So,
not worth doing again.
Season 2. Don't
Season
look for
2.
that one on
Don't go back and review
that
that. So, what has been your favorite component of Cabot Conversations, Whitney? Or favorite season, or favorite moment, or favorite
season. I think the drumbeat, the wild thing is that we get to the end of more episodes than not, and we say, and the theme of this is gather around Scripture with people in community. Be in community around the Word. Yep. Not just community, but like let the Word be a part of it, and let
Christ-centered community.
Yep.
Should be in our mission statement or something.
Someone would consider putting it there.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think even as I'm processing leaving, the words I used initially was relief and grief. And the grief has been more of the regularity with which I see people. Like there's the beautiful part about being in ministry is that your community expands kind of beyond what you can even reach and what you can even put your arms around. And I think that was one of the wearing parts for me is span of care just got to be this, like, I didn't know the edges.
You were just tired.
Yeah. So, but the grief of like staff culture, like knowing that I'll be able to walk in and how's it going? And like, how's the race? Like, are you doing the right? Well, whatever. Or just the regularity with meeting with people. But on the flip side, the beautiful part is I have felt so held by community through this entire transition. Like there's many places where I was a little bit fearful to tell people my news because I was afraid I was going to be letting them down. And I have been responded with such gentleness and excitement and like there's just a trust that I didn't know that people had, that I was like, I trust your decision. Yeah. Like it's hard for me to hear. I don't really want to hear it, but I trust your decision. And it was just met with really a lot of gentleness. And then like being held by the community through prayer. Like you texted over the weekend when my phone was off. I'm like, I'm just holding you like during this thing. That's just, there's just these little moments of beautiful community. And I think the part of this podcast that comes out regularly, not because it's my heartbeat, your heartbeat, because it's actually really good for the human soul to be in community with people around the Word. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I reflect, we've said many times that the heartbeat of this podcast has always been to capture the conversations that we get to have on a regular basis, and that we would love to be normative for Christian life.
To be talking about.
Yeah, just to be centered around
doing and
Scripture and the Word and what that, and just capture it and boil it and share it. Not because our conversation is more profound or more interesting or insightful, but mostly as a model. Like, please do this sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then to think you're just going to have to be more intentional about that, because it happens by accident around here, because this is a healthy place full of people who love Jesus. Unfortunately, there are churches where these sorts of conversations don't take place, but there is space in the staff culture here and just the light body culture that it regularly happens. But that's another point of, so TC with the Transforming Community, my last retreat was this weekend, and there were so many people that were just grieving leaving it, and I felt that too. Like there's definitely there's beauty in what they presented every quarter. There's I tell you what, gathering in a small chapel where people are
kind of like in the round. And the altar's in the middle, not the podium. And then hearing people sing, like hearing the body sing was just beautiful. And I don't know if they just, like, if people just know how to sing way better than I do, probably, because I'm awful. Like,
that comment you made earlier was hilarious.
I was expecting you to say Brian.
So, yeah, that's what I was
There's
thinking.
one person that thinks I sing beautifully, and it's when I sing and Jesus hears me. That's just it. That's it. But they were grieving because they don't have deep community back at home.
Yeah.
And I don't feel that loss. When I left that community, I'm like, actually, there are people I process with deeply at home, and I don't feel like this is gonna be missing from my life because I have several spots within that here. So
I acknowledged that when I started at Woodlands, when I was doing youth ministry prior up in Merrill, my lifeline was the pastoral network, youth pastor network, and I would love to go there and process. Yeah. And when I started here after the first year or two, I was like, why don't I long to be part of those anymore? And it was like, because I have that community in the office, with the people I get to spend time with. And thanks for joining us on Captain Conversations, where we talk about how great it is to work at Woodlands.
I think part of
even
part of me saying that though is that it was normative in a group of 100 Christian leaders to not have deep community. And so if you're listening to this and you're like, I still don't have deep community, don't feel like you're isolated, like you're a mess up. Like, it's actually normative, and we don't want it to be that way.
No.
Right. The reason we've done this podcast is to say it's not actually that hard.
It's right.
It just takes intentionality.
But it's always going to be awkward initially. It's going to feel that I'm not comfortable with that. That's why when we are gathered in groups, we do icebreakers, and everybody hates them because they're awkward.
Yeah.
But they always work because they break that ice, they break that awkwardness, and then you feel okay about hanging out and talking with somebody because you just did these weird icebreakers with them. Yeah. And spending that time to get through that with people is super helpful, but it takes a little while. It's a culture change.
Do you have a favorite icebreaker, Doug?
Me?
Any back pocket ones? No, mine are. I'm awful. I'm the worst. We put it in curriculum every week, and I was like, I wish I had a back pocket. I wish I had a list of these that I just.
I mean, if it's just vocal, those life stories,
Yeah.
A time when life was really challenging, a time when life was really exciting. You get into the camp type stuff, the physical ones. The trust fall was always great.
Yeah.
It's just because it really did. It's like, it's really super hard to do that.
I don't know why this is related in my brain, but I love low ropes courses with teams. I love those. I remember the first time I went to one, I was like, this is the dumbest thing ever. You're going to have us cross this bridge and someone falls. We have to, what about Sally? Sally's going to fall, and then we have to go back. And you learn, it's like, oh yeah, teamwork means I care about Sally making it across the bridge. And we all have different strengths. And my goodness, we got to figure this stuff out. So I love low ropes courses. I don't know why I shared that here.
It's good stuff.
It's a good icebreaker.
But
it's a good
works.
way to build teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just jump on that for a minute. Up in university, when I was on staff with the university, Marty Feldhake, who was one of our missionaries here for a long time, he led, when he was considered the king of fun,
The king of fun.
Wow, how do you get that title?
What a title.
I know. He was charge of recreation.
Yeah.
But then he would always, that's what I knew him as, the king of fun, charge of recreation. So that means he has a lot of fun. He doesn't know anything theology. That was the stereotype.
Sure.
He led an initiatives thing, and they would encourage teams to come through and go through that with him. The first time I went through that with him, I was like, this guy's a genius. This guy's just calm, and he knows how to get to the important stuff. And I became a champion. Every team should go through this, because I'd walk my teams through this, and he would take you into the stuff. Why are you having a tough time trusting Sally? What does this look like? Where are you leaning? And we came out of that so ready to work together as a team. It was so beautiful, and it was one of the richest experiences that we could have there. So those things, and that's what you get even in group life when we spend time with people. After a while, you may not think this was all that. You're like, we're not doing all this stuff that's intentional and profound and all this stuff, but all of a sudden 6, 7, 8 weeks in, a half a year in, you're like, these are my people. I know them. They know me. They're going to walk with me through whatever we go through. Yeah. And it's a beautiful experience.
I just read an article a while ago. Axis is a great, AXIS, is a great resource for parents of teens.
Parenting teens.
And the article was about rocks and river. Like river rocks, and how they're formed just slowly over time of the same influence. And it was talking about do you have influence in your kid's life? And and the article made me cry because it talks about babies coming out and looking for their parents when they hear their voices because they've been exposed in utero for how it's just this, and they're continually looking for your voice. That's their North Star. They're just kind of zoning to that, right? But that's the beautiful picture of that is like humans are shaped like river rocks, of just like what's regularly going over you, what forces are running over you on a regular basis, and groups are like, they can be part of what
shapes you and molds you. And that's a beautiful word picture, because I was literally just yesterday, I built a waterfall in my backyard, a small sound water feature. I've done that. I've had it for 6 years.
Mosquito breeding ground is what I
None
hear.
of it's moving. None of it's moving.
None of it's moving. But every year
I know, because I'm going to be doing this soon.
Okay.
Yeah,
every year I do something a little different. I just want to get it. The rocks have to go back a little bit differently.
Yeah.
But I want to get the water flowing a certain way, and it's amazing. I've been enamored with it. I move one rock, and the water flow is different. And so I'm playing with moving different rocks to get the water to go exactly where I want it to.
Yeah.
But one rock in that community that changes, now that flow is different.
Yeah, that's so true.
It's just, we're all significant in that. And God may use us in different periods and different seasons, and that flow is going to be different, but God's always in control of it. And I think about God the Creator too, going, He's moving creation all the time. We're like, Lord, every little storm that knocks a tree down, or just a simple wind, or a calm day, or anything that happens, you are changing the course of history with His sovereign providential hand.
That's a great word picture.
I think just two things tying together with even this moment, this season where we are right now. You're talking about the river, the long work and the long transformative work of community. Like, if you don't have that community, you need to find it and stick with it and commit to it, because community doesn't change us quickly. It changes us very, very slowly. And then the other piece with that community is just reflecting even on Will's funeral on Sunday, and the profoundness of the community that was represented there. Like, you can't find that community in trial. You have to have that community in trial. And we are all going to walk through devastating trial at different stages and seasons of our life, because this is a broken world. And so trial is not the time to find community. It's the time to have community. And I have so appreciated your heart to help people get into community. That has been the rhythm and pattern and of the conversation here. Which is so funny, because I think for the first 8 years on staff, I was, when we started on staff, we still had the original purpose statement to build Christ-centered communities, helping people
reach the world.
Helping people. Oh, that's this one.
That's this one.
Yeah.
Yes, to reach the world, right?
Build Christ-centered communities to reach the world.
Is that it?
Is that it? No. What is it? Building Christ-centered communities to reach the world.
I think so.
That was the original one.
Well, when you say original,
that was the
original to our time.
To your time.
But that one also had come out of the movement in our church in that season, that we were not a church with small groups, but we were a church of small groups, and the priority of small groups. And in my obnoxious way, fairly railed against that, that small groups are not the only way to have transformational community, and that we disservice a lot of people when we, and so I felt like my posture for the first 8-10 years here on staff was, no, we don't, nah. I was in a small group and all that stuff, but now to be in a seat where I'm like, the consistent thing is get in a, and small groups aren't the only way to do community, but they are a great way to do community.
Right.
And this church and you, Whitney, have modeled so well, like, get in community. And so.
For what it's worth, I agree with you. I don't think small groups are the only way for community. And I do think there are people that feel left out when we say that this is the only way to community. I do think it is one of the best held ways, with a good structure in place to not, it's scary also to step into community and to be known and vulnerable and like all of those things. So to be held within a structure is actually quite helpful in that, I think, but it's not the only way. But do it. Get into community.
Right.
Yeah.
Was there a purpose statement before building communities of Christ-centered people to reach the world?
Yeah, it was to grow larger and smaller.
Well, that's part of Vision 2020.
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't think that
the
was
time you're talking about too, it was like 80% of the church was going to be in groups. There was an 80-20 vision.
Yep. There was an 80-20 vision,
Yep.
and it had it, but the statement wasn't the shorter, just to build Christ-centered communities. I don't think. Maybe it was. Maybe you're right. It was this. Yes, and that was the vision underneath.
Yeah, I think there was
statement.
the Vision 2020 that came out in 2010.
Yes, but yeah.
And I started in 2013. We started in 2013, and that was Vision 2020 was still there.
You started in October of 2013. I was May of 2014.
2014.
I was like a half year later than you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is funny because for the past 2 years, I've been saying that I've been on staff for 13 years because in my mind it's 2013.
Yeah.
And so I just say 13 years. So I'm really excited because in October I will have been on
say
staff
the
for
actual-
13
So
years.
you'll
number
finally
will
be
be
telling
right.
the truth.
Yes.
Okay.
I have been accidentally lying for years. I could discover Woodlands. I would say that and then be like, oh, no. Oh,
We are like 6 years beyond 2020.
that's wild.
Isn't that crazy?
Vision 2020.
So,
And 80% of our church is not in small groups.
which means that maybe it was a time for a new vision,
Yeah. We
like
have
a vision to
before
multiply
that.
healthy churches in Central Wisconsin or something like that. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I've heard of
So
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that was, I mean, as we're thinking about Sunday's sermon, and John made 3 announcements ahead of kind of the sermon where we talked about Smyrna. But the acknowledgement of Keely's transition too. And Keely was our guest last week.
Yeah.
And she will be such a dearly missed sister who has just modeled leadership and Christ-centeredness and pursuit of truth in so many different ways. So I will miss her dearly. I remember I got to hire her.
Yeah. Yeah. She came in 2020, right?
2020.
Like it was the height of the pandemic.
Yep.
And she came here to figure out how to gather young people, right? Like it was kids. She was kids.
Yeah,
Yeah. Kids
my kid's
director.
programming director.
Okay.
So she was going to oversee, and it's similar to what Mia's doing now.
Okay.
She was overseeing Tuesday night programming primarily,
Yeah.
putting things together. And
Yeah.
it's just it was cool because my staff trajectory happened mostly because she was too good to continue in the role that she was in. She had to be empowered increasingly. And so she took over kids ministry and I kind of slid over into teaching and family ministry and doing marriage stuff and focused on that. And then some of that stuff has kind of fallen off and I've focused more on teaching. But she's just really, really, really talented.
Yeah. Very sweet sister that will be missed.
Yeah.
In a big way.
And I think for the congregation, it was sudden. And I think for us in some ways too, it's sudden. So we're definitely mourning and grieving, praying for her as she explores how she will continue to be used by God in other contexts. And we trust that. So, and then, the church health survey.
Yeah. There was 3 announcements. Keely was
Keely,
one.
church health survey.
And then the listening sessions that are coming up.
And the capital campaign, or the language around a campaign to eliminate debt.
Yes.
Which is our mortgage.
With
the purpose
of multiplying churches. It's going to be a production engine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot
the listening sessions are, flesh those out a little bit more, as John did. Like help.
Opportunities for people to come in and ask real questions, get clarity. As John said, it's not going to be us talking to you. It's going to be, we really want to hear from people in the congregation.
So round tables with elders
What are you
at the
excited
tables.
about? What are your questions about? There'll be at each of the tables to just have honest discussion. And what's exciting, what's terrifying to you, what concerns do you have? Those kind of things as we move forward into this vision.
So if you have questions, if you're excited about something, do not miss an opportunity to sit at one of those tables.
Right.
And it's about church multiplication or the capital campaign to eliminate
the capital
debt.
campaign. Yeah. Yep. And we're so excited to get all that feedback from the congregation. 1,012 respondents. We were hoping to get 800. That was going to be...
That was John's BHAG.
Right. So that was a big goal, and we got beyond that, which is phenomenal. But even in that, some of you that are filling that out might feel like, I would have rather just sat down and talked to somebody. We need both. You did the one, come into these listening sessions, and that's going to be a great opportunity to talk.
And perhaps even if you don't have questions that are bursting right now, because you need more information, that might be a good place to come just sit and listen. Just you don't have to
Sure.
come with questions. Maybe you could come with just listening ears to hear.
Yeah.
In a prayerful posture. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff going on. I mean, talk about vision and direction. And there is a genuine, like, we don't know. I was in, on Sunday after church, I was in a church multiplication lead team meeting. That's the team that's been helping cast some of the direction and vision for this, for that. And some of the people on that team were saying, it is so, well, one of the guys said, he's like, I've never been on a team that had clearer direction with less clarity. Like, we clearly know what we're doing, what we feel tasked to do, but we genuinely don't know where or when or how or those sorts of things. And we are just very, very open-handedly seeking to discern God's leading and listen to the congregational voice in that, because we think that the Lord's going to lead through that.
And that was one of the beautiful things that came out of the Nancy Moore survey results. And if I'm sitting there Sunday and I hear, hey, this was great, it was overwhelmingly positive, we're in an exceptionally healthy place, I might go, well, that all sounds good, but how genuine is that? That was compared to 2,900, isn't that right, the number? Yeah. Other churches nationwide. So all of these metrics, they see a lot of churches that unfortunately aren't healthy, that have lots of struggles, and they see some that are somewhat healthy. But this is genuine data from everybody who fed back, and we are in a very healthy place. That doesn't mean anything's easy. That just means we are ready to go, and if we sit still, there was that interesting thing that we could become real stagnant. And I just know that's true in my life, right? You're training for a half marathon, right? And you get done with that, and you go, okay, now I've got the stamina. I can run 13.1 miles.
Got to go a little more than 13.
And now I can just stop, and I'll maintain that, right? Not a chance.
Hi.
The atrophy,
it's me.
The atrophy is going to come in so fast. And so we're in a healthy place. But if we're not.
That is one of the most frustrating things about running, is you can work so hard to get to a certain level, and then you take a couple weeks off, and you're like, I feel like I've never run before in my life.
Right. And that can be that's the same thing in church life. Is we're a healthy body of people. We're in a good place. If we just sit there, that atrophies down to, what was the word?
Status quo.
Status quo, but then we lose our motivation for things. And to say we want to remain dependent upon the Lord, we want to keep going to the next place He has us to go, and continue to focus on our care within the body at the same time. It's going to be a challenging but a really good opportunity.
You know what's worth pointing out too is that grid. And if you got the email, the email went out to 2,000 people, so most of us did. If you didn't, email office@woodlandschurch.org and get that figured out. But
ask for the executive summary.
Right? Of the in Elmore CAT church assessment, something, I don't know. So, but that grid is energy and satisfaction. And what causes a church to slide down is not a lack of satisfaction. People continue to be satisfied. They're like, I'm continuing to come here and being fed and I'm being engaged. It's the energy to move and change that drops. And that's what leads to that status quo. We're content with what's happening, and we don't really want to do anything different. And that's when churches start to die. And it's interesting because it's the energy and the vision to change that's pushing us into the season of all change is loss. And there's a difficult and a hard, and I've heard from people who are like, I love that you're interested in multiplying, but I'm scared of what that's going to look like. And that's, but I think the more information I learn, the more I sit in this, the more I'm like, that scared is kind of what we need to do.
And we were talking earlier about, my training for race. Now I'm trying to continue running, but I sign up every January 1st. It's on New Year's Day for the Point Buck.
If you miss
it's in March. And if you don't get any, but I sign up for it because it's going to force me off the couch. So I know by March I need to be able to run 5 miles. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
But if I don't, I'm going to just continue to put on the winter weight. I'm going to continue to atrophy, and I sign up for something that's going to push me into a healthier lifestyle.
That's a good analogy. I think that's where we are as a church to an extent. We're not saying, hey, we're confident we're in half marathon shape, but we've signed up for it. And so we're going to do the work to get into it. I remember on sabbatical when I trained for that half marathon, that was signing up for it was such a defining, like, oh gosh, now I actually have to do it. So I almost dropped out the week before.
Did you?
And I trained up to it. I was ready, but I was like, but I don't have to do it. And that was the lie I got into actually in my head was I know I can do it.
So why should I do it?
Yeah. And part of it was because it was so stupid early in the morning. Yeah. It was a race in Madison that gunfired at 7 in the morning. And I was like, why?
Mine's 7:30. That's early.
So the point, Wonderful Water is like 9:30 or something.
That's perfect.
That seems reasonable.
Is that next? That's the following weekend, right? The end? There's another half marathon coming up that's in this area.
Interesting.
Wonderful Water is in September.
Okay. So there's something else that's happening.
Dave.
There's time.
I know. And I'm finally getting into like I have a goal. I turned 40 in October.
Yeah.
And so I have like a fitness goal of how I want to be when I turn 40.
Yeah.
For, because I guess I need to start thinking about stuff now. If I want to have a good next few years.
Do you share how old you are?
Do I?
Yeah.
I don't have a hesitation to.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not. Yeah.
How old are you?
Well, I don't have a house down by the ocean, and the rent is not too high. Though tomorrow is my birthday. It feels funny, but it's true. I'm turning 30. If you remember that old song,
I don't.
When You Don't by Randy
You just
Stonehill.
turned in
Randy Stonehill.
60. You just turned 60.
I just doubled that.
Yeah, you just turned 60 in May, right?
I turned 60 in May.
Yeah.
I don't have a house down by the ocean because the rent is too high.
Got it.
So I live in central Wisconsin where I can see the eagles fly.
Yeah.
A Randy Stonehill quote.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Yeah, I remember him singing that when he was 40. I'm turning 40. My how time flies. Yeah. And then he says, pretty soon I'll be singing, I'm turning 60. Get off my lawn. And here I am.
Yeah, already turned 60.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you have a get off my lawn mindset? Is there a little bit of a shake your cane at some things?
Only when the garbage truck runs through the cul-de-sac front and ruins the grass that I'm trying to make look nice because I have to look at it all the time.
Yeah.
So get off my cul-de-sac.
I do feel like 60, like now that, I know people that are 60. When I was younger, 60-year-olds felt old. Mm-hmm. They don't feel old anymore.
Well, I was telling Brian earlier that after the Point Bach, I switched shirts because I put on the one they gave us, not the one I ran in. And I had taken a picture before that after the race, and then I took a picture with that one, but kind of forgot. I was going back for the pictures later in the day, and I'm like, who's that old guy with Matt? That was my honest reaction was, who's that old guy? I'm like,
That's me.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, I love that.
So, scary. But
have you heard that Nate Bargatze joke where he talks about changing a shirt in the parking lot of a golf course, and a old man walks over and he's like, Meredith? He's like, I don't know who should be more offended, me or Meredith. And I don't think that was the right name, but
it's like Marjorie or something, isn't it? Like his wife.
It was the guy's wife. That's
so
a very funny moment. So,
do you have a favorite memory from, or like something from Cabin Conversations?
There's been lots of great things. Mm-hmm. This is so trite or whatever, but I feel like we have spent the last 4 seasons trying to capture the magic of toothbrush time.
Yeah. Yes.
Which
toothbrush time was just a.
It was just a profound moment.
I do not.
That's where we asked guests what they did while they brushed their teeth.
Yeah.
Really?
Maybe it was so impactful to us because we asked so many people.
Yeah.
Where like you would have only been asked once, you gave an answer and you were fine and you moved on. But we engaged with the same story every week, and we heard people's toothbrush.
So what are some of the unique stories?
They did so many different things, but mostly just random stuff.
Yeah.
Like I reflect on this too. So some people...
I still have your mom's wisdom going through my ear of like, just brush your teeth, Dave. Because I'm like trying to get a sweatshirt on with an electric toothbrush in my, like it's... Just brush your teeth. 2 minutes.
Making bed. I brush my bed. Make my bed while I brush my teeth sometimes.
Is that why it's got all the little spots over
it? I think my favorite answer was Colton, who just brushes his teeth, which is like very par for the course. We asked that recently because, but
wow.
Some people would memorize scripture or reflect on
There's some
passages.
Deep answers.
Yeah.
I stretch.
We're trying to
You stretch?
Wow.
That's what I've taken up to doing because
it's a great idea.
Use the time.
Yeah.
I put my leg up on the counter, I stretch one leg and I stretch the other. So I do 30 seconds either leg. I brush my teeth for at least a minute and I'm doubling up the time.
all the dentists just cringed. It's supposed to be 2
minutes.
I didn't say I stopped brushing my teeth. I just might have stopped stretching.
He's 60, so there's got to be time allotted to get his leg up that high.
30 seconds
back
at
down.
60 is like a minute and a half or 10 minutes.
I only know that because we're always fighting against my kids for brushing their teeth. But I've also wondered, and a dentist could explain this, why I need to brush my teeth for as long as Beatrix needs to brush her teeth. Her mouth is much smaller. There is much less surface area on those teeth.
She's probably a lot less thorough than you are as a young human.
That's true. And so maybe it's just a kind of
a little
accounting
extra for that mouth, and you might get the spot that she doesn't ever hit.
Yeah. So she has a toothbrush that flashes for a minute.
Yep.
So when she's done, okay.
Yep. So she's always, every night when we're going to bed, she's like, "Can I just do one flash, Dad?" I'm like, "Nope, we're going to do 2 tonight." "Just one." Like, what?
Wow.
This 2
Why are
minutes
we
are the
crying about
longest
this?
minutes of her life.
Wow.
So
how long did the
needs to
people of Smyrna brush their teeth?
yeah. So I do think that the one takeaway, well, the one thing that I really thought was rich in that Smyrna was it was the church that suffered. John, when he was starting, the church that suffered but didn't have a correction. And John was like, what would you prefer? Would you prefer to not have a correction from Jesus and to suffer, or to not suffer but have a correction from Jesus? And the goal and aim of the Christian life should always be to not have a correction from Jesus, come what may.
That I'm being faithful. I'm being obedient regardless of the suffering, persecution, whatever might come.
Yep.
Like you said.
So
that
was a profound challenge.
Yep.
And even, and I might talk about this week because I'm still processing Pergamum. There's, this is a punchy little bit of verses we got coming up here.
You're preaching this weekend?
I'm preaching this weekend. Okay. And the question, Jesus come back, but not until blank. And there's lots of things people fill in that, right? Jesus, I can't wait for you to come back, but if you could just wait for this to happen. And what are we valuing more than Jesus, the presence of Jesus?
I always say, I know Jesus is coming back. I used to say it about the Cubs. Now I say it about the Brewers. That he's going to come back in the bottom of the ninth when the Brewers are up and there's 2 outs.
We're finally going to win a series.
To win the World Series, and the Lord's going to come back. Are you going to be disappointed?
Are you going to be disappointed?
I won't.
That's the question, right?
That's not
right. That's the question of our allegiance. But
it's, because that's just that testing piece is so important. So,
have you read? I think it's a work of fiction. It's got to be a work of fiction. The Lost Letters of Pergamum.
No.
Oh, I think it's in my stack of books.
Okay.
Multiple stacks of books. But I think I know which one under my bed.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can find it.
Wow.
So that'll be this Sunday.
Okay.
But I think, this is the end of season 5.
Yeah.
So,
and this is the end of Whitney's
journey here.
This it's been a joy.
Yeah,
thanks for having me on when I'm here. It's been one of those always kind of spontaneous, fun, great conversations. And per your comments earlier, the kind of conversations we should have more often.
Yeah.
It's Wisconsin. If it's raining, put a fire on, have some people around, talk about something significant.
Yeah.
You'll find that that's a lot more satisfying than whatever might be on TV.
Amen.
Just call some people up and say, "Hey, you want to come over and hang out and chat?" So it's a good word.
Amen.
So
yeah.
All right. I think we'll just sign off with
okay.
Bye.